man, we Yo TV, we back here.
Youth culture, youth voices, youth power, coming at you.
What's happening, we Yo TV out here?
Before we go any further, I have to big up the magazine. Youth Outlook.
Youth Outlook, chronicle of young people's lives in the Bay Area.
We're known all over the Bay and beyond.
Got a lot of good stuff for you this time. Yo!
My name's Arsenio. Right now we're getting ready to go into San Francisco State. I'm actually a student in the music recording industry program. I'm gonna take y'all into the studio where I'm a lab monitor and show you how I get down, all right?
What I want to see change is I want to see people's lives change. If a person's life is changed, then change will be affected through everybody else that encounters them. I work with the DJ Project, which is open, to everybody between the ages of 15 to 25 for those who want to pursue music and want to learn how to record, make beats, and write songs. I was a student and a participant in their program. From an intern, became a teacher's aide. From a teacher's aide, a program administrator to help them develop an intermediate and advanced class for those who really wanted to pursue music. I love to teach. I love to give people knowledge. To be honest with you, it takes support and love. A lot of people that I've encountered within my life, I've been able to help them make transition, make change, make a difference. We're also able to give people hope, give people jobs, let people follow their dreams. I help them develop Grind for the Green, one of the first music, hip-hop oriented green festival-like events of its kind. I'm the recipient of the first full ride MRI certificate hip hop scholarship. It met full circle with, me being so against school and such an outcast, where now I'm going to school and I love it. All the people that helped me change my life are the people that I think of every day when I go and I see youth and I try and change their lives.
Easy Virtue. The crew, the director and the writer of Easy Virtue in the SFIFF San Francisco International Film Festival San Francisco International Film Festival. Without further ado, introduce yourselves, please.
Hi, I'm Stephen Elliott, the co-writer and director of Easy Virtue.
And my name's Sheridan Jobbins. I'm the co-writer of Easy Virtue.
That stupid boy.
What's happened?
Oh, it's John. He's married that
Francophile? Photographer?
Flute.
Pharmacist?
Smile, Marion.
I don't feel like smiling.
You're English, dear. Fake it.
This is my wife.
Welcome.
The pleasure is all mine.
Oh, you're American.
We really wanted this is really a story about the old world being invaded by the new world. And in the instance, it's an older woman with a lovely house and a lovely life, played by Kristen Scott Thomas, who's, a goddess, having to come face to face with her new daughter-in-law, which is the sassy, gorgeous, kick-ass Jessica Biel, all set in the 1920s. And it's very much a story about that collision. It's a woman from an old world who suddenly realizes everything she's missed out on by this gorgeous, adorable woman.
I was happily carving out a niche for myself on the race circuit when I was unexpectedly flagged down by someone irresistible. Remarrying was the farthest thing from my mind. I see.
It's based on an old Coward play, and he was a writer of the early 20th century, so he wrote it then. And he was writing for his age group, so he was writing for 20-year-olds in 1924. And so that's where the basic idea comes from. And what he wanted to do is a timeless idea of meeting the in-laws and the clash of culture that comes when people see eye to eye or don't see too eye to eye.
And this is the first original scribed in 20th century literature evil mother-in-law story. And what mother-in-law joke isn't good? They're all good, and it's a timeless joke. Pick on the mother-in-law, make her cry.
I think my personal favorite part was the part with the dog.
This is a true story, we put it in. It was not in the original play, of course, but a girlfriend of mine actually went to meet her boyfriend's family for the very first time. She was so nervous, she walked in, she wasn't looking, she sat on the couch, and the family chihuahua was actually underneath it. And she killed the chihuahua, and all hell broke loose. I don't know, I love that story, and I thought I've got to find a great way of getting it into a modern film. So we've stuck it into 1920, and it's actually real. I'm going to be completely honest, when I go and see a film like this, I'm usually pretty bored. And that was the big one. I go to sleep in films like this. I thought, nah, So when they gave it to me, you know, I'm very famous for a film called The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, which is about a busload full of drag queens that gets caught in the outback, which won a couple of Academy Awards, believe it or not. Still haven't worked out why. The part of me that had to rock and roll this up. I said, no, we've really got to go here on this one. So camera work, we went mad. Sound, we went mad. We got lots of special effects in the movie. I mean, you don't see a film like this with this many special effects. I mean, we really got some cool effects. But the big one was the music. I mean, we just went completely bananas. We created this little band, and although we're doing 1922 type, the sound was 1922, we started doing some fantastic experiments. And then in the second reel, the thing breaks into a 1922 version of the car wash. And it's the car wash, Rolls-Royce's car wash. And to see an audience burst out laughing once they get the joke. And it was really good to kind of rock and roll it up. And, you know, I know your nan is going to go or want to go and see a film like this. Well, we're not making this film for the nan. We're making it for you.
The car, the BMW. Can you tell me about that car? It was beautiful.
Well, Steph wanted to make Larita, the central character, arrive like an alien in a big, shiny spacecraft, which is effectively what she does. And the family is sort of stuck in the past and she's coming from the future. It's a beautiful, authentic, original 1930s race car.
No, you walk into a room, people go quiet when Jessica walks in a room. And particularly the way we've dressed her on this one. I mean, there's a couple of dresses in this film where you can see pretty much everything, to a point where I said, no underpants, no bra, just go with that. And when that car pulled on set, Jessica got ignored. It's one of the sexiest vehicles I've ever seen in my life, yeah.
I mean, she's a thoroughly decent and gorgeous girl. You know, she's a snowboarder from Colorado. She eats all her food. She drinks her alcohol when it's time to drink the alcohol. She's a good woman. But she's also one of the nicest women you could ever meet. She's kind, she's thoughtful, she works for charity, she does all of that. So I think it took Steph to bring out the hard sharpness and the nastiness in her. And it was quite fun watching her practice the lines in the early days, because some of them are really cutting, and you'd see her at dinner and she'd kind of have a go at it like at one of us, because we'd written it so it was safe. And it was like, Jess, that's so rude, I can't believe you did that. And she'd go, oh, this is fun.
The harlot stealing into the nursery.
The delicious concubine with the delectable ears, nose, neck. I could just eat you.
After that meal, I'm not surprised.
It's in the festival, but also what do you anticipate for how to get this out there to other young viewers?
We're going out and we'll be coming out across in San Francisco at the end of May. I think it's May 25, I think. There'll be a couple of cinemas. And if a lot of people go, there'll be more cinemas. But the big one is believe me, if you've never seen one of these films, go. I did not make this film for your grandma. I made it for you.
He couldn't stand for teasing.
Is it true you've had as many lovers as they say?
Of course it's not true. Hardly any of them actually loved me.
She's scandalous.
Let's misbehave.
When does the carnage begin?
Hey, baby.
What's up?
Yo, I didn't even want to ride the BART. Why? Because after what happened to that guy, Oscar Grant, yeah, and then seeing the BART police made me kind of shaky. Well, I feel you. That could have happened to anybody. Yeah, probably even us. Let's go.
Let him go. What the fuck?
As I sat here and watched this video of Oscar Grant getting killed, I was really shocked. I didn't want to believe that a BART officer would really take out a gun, not a taser, and end this young man's life in a quick second. I wasn't feeling that at all. Every time I hear the gunshot in the video, it's just like, damn. It makes me feel like our lives as young people aren't valued, as if his life was worth nothing. Why was he killed? I felt so strongly about this, so angry, When I heard about this protest, I felt I had to go. Even if it was for the first time in my life, I wanted to know what other youth like myself were feeling. How were they affected by this injustice? I was on my way to the protest. I couldn't believe I was traveling all the way to Oakland for justice. When I got there, I was impressed that so many people came out to show support and share their feelings. There were even young teens my age, barely getting out of school, still wearing their backpacks and everything. It felt to me like what I was participating in was gonna help make a difference. I felt part of something big. I realized right then how much power people have when they join together to fight for something they believe in. I had to cover this story. I'm Chantal Ray News, and I'm here live at the march here downtown in Oakland for the murder of Oscar Grant III. I'm here downtown in Oakland, and
but you heard a list of names recited from City Hall who've been mercilessly killed by law enforcement officers all over the country.
Okay, I want to ask you, what is the protest really about? What do you hope to accomplish from this protest?
This protest is really about equality and fairness and about equal treatment. And what we hope to accomplish from this protest is that none of this continues to happen in our community. We well know that the shooting of black men by the police has been going on for years, and we want to put a stop to this any way that we possibly can.
It's crazy to me that Obama was soon to be inaugurated to help bring change. An African American was about to receive the highest honor in the nation, and as that was happening, the opposite occurred to Oscar Grant. On New Year's Day, Oscar Grant was shot in Fruitvale BART station, just as the year of change arrived. He was murdered in cold blood by a BART officer. At the young age of 22, around 2 a.m., he was shot once in the back by Johannes Meserly, a 27-year-old BART police officer. The bullet that hit Oscar went through his back, hit the ground, bounced back, and hit him in the lung, which killed him right on the spot. Do you think BART police should carry guns?
No, I don't think the BART police should carry guns. I think they should be disarmed.
I think BART police should not carry guns because don't they also carry tasers? A gun could kill somebody. A taser could just put them in a state of shock, and that would give you enough time to put them in handcuffs and sustain them.
The shooting shook Oakland and the Bay Area upside down. As the days passed, BART took his time in making a public statement or giving any public explanation for the shooting.
Protests in response to the BART shooting moved to San Francisco tonight.
I am Oscar Grant! I am Oscar Grant!
In the meantime, Oakland was heating up over the case. This to me is a clear example of police injustice and racism.
What we hope to accomplish today is to continue to put the pressure on the DA, on BART police, on the city, and even put pressure on ourselves that we're not going to just let them kill our brothers and sisters.
In the name of democracy, we the people have a right to raise questions.
I think it shows the obvious feeling of the community and the people who have maybe been subservient and want their voices to be heard, but don't feel that they're represented. So they come out, we all come out to share our voices and how we feel.
I thought it was real cool that everybody came out to these protests and showed their support. Change starts with a lot of people, not just one. And even though they probably didn't even know Oscar Grant, and neither did I, we all still came and showed love. At the protest, people were hella pumped and marching through the streets, expressing their anger and frustrations with the police.
So when we say fuck the police, it's symbolic. It means much more than fuck the police. It's fuck the system. They are there to uphold the system that is oppressing us. So if we want to rebel against that and slow down, fuck them. Fuck the police.
At one point, everybody reenacted the shooting and laid down on the pavement with their hands behind their back in the same position as Oscar Grant. They started listing the names of people that had been shot by Oakland police, chanting, "Please don't shoot," afterwards.
Please don't shoot! Pete Madrid!
Please don't shoot!
Us as youth grew up thinking and being told that police were supposed to protect us and keep us safe. As I've gotten older, I started to think differently. That maybe police weren't here to protect me and serve me. And as a young kid, how do you feel about police officers? Do you think that they'll protect you, or how do you feel about them?
Sometimes they'll protect you, sometimes they'll kill you.
Do you feel safe around them?
No, I don't.
After this incident,
I don't feel protected at all. You know, I gotta worry first about people in the streets, and now I gotta worry about the cops too.
Oscar Grant didn't do anything to provoke that shooting. He was on his back. He was asking the cop not to taser him. He was trying to get other people to calm down. There have been dozens of other police shootings of people in the past couple of years. No one did anything to provoke them. The problem is that, in particular in Oakland, there's a mentality that you can get away with it. When was the last time a cop was prosecuted in Oakland for killing an unarmed person?
Sometimes I wonder how the police look at us, like what they really think about us. Just because you got a gun and badge don't mean you could take advantage. At the end of the day, when your uniform comes off, you're just as normal as anybody else would be. I'm confused as to why they waited so long. Why didn't they detain him right away? Why all the special treatment? He said he feared for his safety, and he should have.
If he was here, man, I don't think he'd be here long enough for me to tell him shit. Probably people would kill him.
I want to say to the officer that killed him that you were very wrong. You were very disrespectful for to do that man like that when you thought your taser was your gun. No, your taser wasn't your gun. You already know what you did. And then you left him laying there. Then you looked at him. I have no respect for you.
I think he should have instantly been took it to arrest, because you feel me? If it was anybody else in Oakland, we would have instantly got took it to the jailhouse or whatever.
And I feel that the police should be punished for what they do, because they're quick to punish a criminal, but like, why do y'all feel that y'all have an extraordinary, like, that y'all like are special and stuff like that?
Oscar Grant didn't deserve this, and if it wasn't for Meserly's actions, then he would still be here. Not until a week later did Officer Meserly finally resign, only so that he wouldn't have to make a statement to Internal Affairs. Then he took off and made it hella far, to Nevada, where he was arrested and finally brought into custody and charged with murder. Anyone else would have been caught right away. Bart not only mishandled the situation, but even a police officer's statewide fund is paying for Meserly's lawyer fees. You can't just take somebody's life and then receive special treatment. He ain't special.
To be real though, the way it politicized the kids and way it's going to affect them in a conscious way, it's very vital that, again, they see justice, or even that they actually see the process develop. Let's face it, politics isn't a regular thing of a conversation for us, you know, in that younger generation. Now they even have an energized commitment to learning more about that process.
The guy who pulled the trigger and killed the young boy looks like me. Innocent young African-American boy just like me. And he's out of jail now. Now let me go kill me, an African-American boy, not even African-American boy, Latin, anything. I'll never see you guys again.
Oh, he out?
Yeah,
what? What? How I feel? You don't want to know how I feel. I can't really say how I feel.
Now it's okay, hold on, man. I can't just sit by it and just let the political process happen. I need to know this stuff, because if I don't know, again, these people are shaping my life and for whatever it's worth. So I need to at least be aware of what's going on.
It felt like a movement, like a strong movement. It felt like I was taking a part of something that actually meant something, instead of just messing up stuff. Feel me? I knew the meaning of it.
On a what, $3 million bill? Cash? He is not supposed to be out of jail right now, Dad.
So these are the police, the people that we run to put the bad people away, but they being the bad people. So why would we run to the bad people and tell them the bad people? That's why ain't nothing happening.
How do you bail out of something you caught red handed? That's like you in the store and you steal something and they got you right on camera.
Of course it's gonna have some kind of impact on my life, whether they, let this guy go, or even if they give justice.
But they gonna feel that though, and if they don't make no justice, they gonna keep doing the stuff, and they gonna have to keep paying for the dumb officers' actions.
Bart tried to confiscate cell phone videos and claimed security cameras didn't record the incident. I think this scares the cops because we know the truth, and they can't take away our evidence.
Organizers of this town hall meeting don't understand why former BART police officer Johannes Meserly hasn't been charged with a crime. They think this cell phone video taken by a witness that night should be enough to convince the district attorney to arrest the officer.
It makes me remember the Rodney King incident that caused all kinds of riots in LA.
Since the Rodney King beating, I think some things have changed, but the biggest thing is that, again, the power of media. The fact that you had a recording of Rodney King happening, a recording of Oscar Grant happening, that keeps people on edge or keep people aware that, you know, some of this stuff still exists.
For some people, the Oscar Grant shooting was the last straw. People are fed up with police brutality, and so am I.
They're going to be shooting at people. They shouldn't even be cops in the first place.
We will not handle this. If you do, we will burn this motherfucker down.
This ain't no joke. They put him on a t-shirt. He can't speak for himself. Can't nobody, feel me? So it's up to us to speak for him.
Oscar Grant wasn't the only one that was treated unfairly by BART police officers. There are many more. If it wasn't for Oscar, the struggle to readdress this problem of police injustice in 2009 wouldn't have been heard by so many people. It's time to stop the killings, the pain, the tears, the suffering, grieving, and anger. And last but not least, stop the funerals.
We're trying to get to a world where there are no more Oscar Grants getting murdered.
This could have happened to anyone, at any time. He is no different than any one of us. At the protest, I learned that we as youth need to start taking care of each other, supporting and helping each other out. I feel like an activist and like I'm a part of this movement. I may be a female, but I am Oscar Grant.
R.P. Oscar. All matters.
I'm Gabriel Sunday, and I'm here talking about my suicide. It's really about this kid who has no friends, doesn't have a great relationship with his family, and is thinking of many ways to try to get some attention. And he comes up with the idea of making a movie about his own suicide and making it in class and announcing it in class, and really what that movie would look like. You know, what would come out of the mind of a kid with ADD who's depressed and lonely, who's just obsessed with media. What would that movie look like? Our movie's kind of a representation of that.
Have you ever felt like your life was just one big movie?
Well, see, mine is.
The film came out of a youth group called Regenerate. So it started like within a nonprofit that was dedicated to empowering youth to make media for their peers on important issues, one of which is suicide, because it's the second leading killer of kids. So my son and I, Jordan, conceived of the movie.
My name is Archie.
Archibald Holden.
Buster Williams.
We consider Archie to be like a modern day Howard Beale from the movie Network, you know, really ranting about the ills of the world and pissed off, but right. Yeah, but he's right. You know?
So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!"
I find I am a lot like Archie in certain ways. Not as much anymore, but I definitely have that part of me that likes being alone. You know, I definitely have a lonely side of me, and I have a part of me that I can get depressed. You know, I can be hurt. You know, I'm a very sensitive person. I think Archie's a very sensitive person too. But there's certain things like Archie's relationship with his parents. They never really talk to him much. I have a great family. And I'm a bit more outgoing and talkative around people. But there's still a lot of parts of me that if you amplified, it's a lot like Archie. You know, I've never really been suicidal, but I've definitely felt lonely and scared. And I understand like that mind. I understand the young, impressionable mind because I can be swayed one way or the other. I mean, I have a big ego, but it doesn't mean that somebody can't totally destroy me.
And the girl you choose to dream about, Sierra.
She doesn't even know who I am. But I think you're beautiful. Even if you did have another job.
I think through the whole movie he wants to like get romantic with her and like wants to have that perfect movie romance, but it's just not going to happen because they're not cut from the same cloth. They're not meant to be together. Archie kind of loves and hates Sierra. You know, it's like he's angry at her for being so beautiful, and he's angry that he could never be good enough to have her, you know, and all that. And so we really tried to play into that and really kind of look at her like that and see what Archie would do, and it really worked. I thought that was one thing that David really did well, was making Sierra this kind of, you know, untouchable thing that really takes the upper hand in the relationship.
I was a TV fetus. I had a camera on me before I was even born. I grew up with everything that a kid could possibly want. I was programmed to behave the American dream.
You know, I've seen many, many things. I mean, I've seen beheadings on the internet. I've seen crazy porn. I've seen lots. I grew up with that. You know, so there's definitely a big message of like, Okay, so your parents can't shield you from taboos anymore. Even if you're in the middle of nowhere, you will find a way of having your mind open and having things pour in that you would never expect. And I think that's a wonderful thing that we're experiencing. I think it's beautiful. I think it's connecting people in a way that nobody would ever imagine. I think that if you are a scared person, or you're having struggles with your sexuality, or you're having struggles with your parents, or your cutter, or whatever it is, you can find information on the web, and you can find a way to get out some things in front of you, maybe get your art out there. You know, it's a great way of expressing yourself, but it's also terrifying and horrible in a lot of ways because you are influenced by things. There's that cyberbullying, but there are people all along the way that are different mindsets, and you know, you have to be aware of that as a human. You know, cyberbullying or bullying in general, you never know where somebody's at during the day. And so our movie is, you know, I think we show a lot of the different, you know, mindsets that happen. Archie is on one and Sierra's on another, and there's different characters that you meet throughout the film who are truly broken people.
For my project, I'm gonna kill myself on camera.
It's not funny at all.
You're a good student in this class.
I understand that. Y'all make the lighting really good.
There's definitely a part of it that's like, you know, you're kind of cheering them on through some of it. And why wouldn't you? That's the internet. I mean, that's everything. I mean, there's a part of everybody that has some sick and twisted fascination with people getting hurt, or, you know, it's the whole fame thing. There's another documentary that's out now called We Live in Public, and it's all about the internet and people's need for Facebook and Twitter. Everybody wants to feel famous, everybody wants to feel important, and everybody wants to talk and get things out of them. We don't try to talk down at anybody. There are definitely some messages in our film that is just like flat out, if you want to kill yourself, here's the answer, you know. And we do give them a flat out answer during some of it. And I guess you could interpret it as, you know, some people would think of it as beating it over the head, but I never feel like we talk down to young people, you know. And we wanted to carry that message very heavily, and I think we do a good job of that.
My name is Jennifer. I'm from San Francisco, and I work with Homies Organizing the Mission to Empower Youth.
My name is Eric. I'm 18 years old from the San Francisco Mission District. What I do to make change through Homies, I go to schools and do workshops about my life.
Educating my peers and the young people in my community.
I teach people about their rights. I throw events for youth.
I help my peers get aware about how to get enrolled into the education system and how to succeed in the education system.
About their ancestries, and I help the homies know that there's something better than selling dope and gangbanging. I started doing this work because I was incarcerated most of my teen life, and a brother named Antonio and my uncle Rene came to jail and visited me and told me that I am something better than what other people look at me as, and I could do something with my life.
Some of the challenges that I have faced is that my family and other people saying that I can't do it, that I was just gonna ending up dropping out of school until I finally found my path.
You know, they told me about the program and I was interested.
They taught me how to organize and how I had a voice within my peers and within the system.
The effects of the change is people look at me like I came from a thug to a gentleman.
Some of the change I see from what I do is that I have my homeboys coming up to me and asking me, how do I go back to school? How do I get into college?
What I want to see in the future is better schools.
Less people dying on the streets. More people of color graduating and ending up in City Hall, becoming city officials.
Each one teach one, like what they taught me.